It is thus that a bodhisattva's coursing in perfect wisdom is a non-coursing in which all these discoursings are not apprehended. Subhuti. If the coursing in perfect wisdom is a non-coursing, how should a bodhisattva, who is a beginner, course in perfect wisdom? The Lord. From the first thought of enlightenment onwards he should train in all dharmas as baseless. When he gives a gift, he should do so without taking anything as a basis. And so when he guards morality, 2. When he develops wisdom, 2. When he develops the knowledge of all modes. Subhuti. By what is there a basis, and by what is there not? The Lord. Insofar as there is duality, there is basis. Non-duality, that is non-basis. Subhuti. What then is duality? The Lord. Insofar as there is I and form, 2. Mind and mind objects, 2. Insofar as there is enlightenment and the enlightened, that is duality. Subhuti. And what is non-duality? The Lord. Insofar as there is no I and form, 2. No mind and mind objects, 2. No enlightenment and no enlightened, that is non-duality. The discrimination of attachment. Subhuti. Is then the apprehended non-basis, or the non-apprehended? The Lord. Neither. But on the contrary it is the sameness of basis and non-basis which is the non-basis. It is thus that a bodhisattva should train in the sameness of basis and non-basis. Thus coursing, he becomes one who observes no basis in perfect wisdom. Subhuti. When a bodhisattva who courses in perfect wisdom does not get attached to either basis or non-basis, how can he, coursing in perfect wisdom, fulfill one stage after another and reach the knowledge of all modes? The Lord. A bodhisattva, coursing in perfect wisdom, who stands on a basis does not fulfill the stages one after another, because he cannot possibly do so. And why? The perfection of wisdom has no basis, enlightenment has no basis, and he also cannot be apprehended who courses in perfect wisdom. It is thus that a bodhisattva should course in perfect wisdom. The discernment of dharmas. Subhuti. If no perfect wisdom can be apprehended, no enlightenment, and also no one who courses towards it, how can a bodhisattva, who courses in perfect wisdom, effect a discernment of all dharmas, determining this as form, that as feeling, 2. That is enlightenment. The Lord. A bodhisattva, a great being who courses in perfect wisdom, does not affect his discernment of dharmas in such a way that he apprehends form, 2. Enlightenment. The discernment of entities. Subhuti. If the bodhisattva, the great being who courses in perfect wisdom, does not apprehend form, 2. Enlightenment, how, then, can he, after fulfilling the 6 perfections, enter on a bodhisattva's special way of salvation? And how hereafter purify the Buddha field, mature beings, reach the knowledge of all modes, turn the wheel of dharma, do the work of a Buddha and liberate beings from samsara? The Lord. The bodhisattva, the great being, does not course in perfect wisdom for the sake of form, 2. Enlightenment. Subhuti. For the sake of what, then, does he course in perfect wisdom? The Lord. For the sake of nothing whatever. And why? Because all dharmas are not made, not brought about, and that applies also to the perfection of wisdom, to enlightenment, and to the bodhisattva. It is thus that the bodhisattva should course in perfect wisdom, by way of its being unmade and not brought about. The discrimination of the triad of vehicles. Subhuti. If all dharmas are not made and not brought about, how can there be a distinctive definition of these 3 vehicles, i.e., of the disciple vehicle, the pratyeka Buddha vehicle, the great vehicle? The Lord. No distinctive definition can be apprehended of dharmas which are not made and not brought about, but only of dharmas which are brought about and arrange into concrete things and events. And why? Because foolish, untutored common persons, having settled down in the 5 skandhas, in form to consciousness, 2. In the knowledge of all modes put their minds to form, up to enlightenment, apprehend form, up to enlightenment. And it occurs to them, I shall know full enlightenment, I shall liberate beings from samsara. In this way they imagine what does not exist. And why? Because, although the Buddhas with their 5 eyes have not apprehended this form to enlightenment, these deluded persons, blind, without eyes, who give the light of the Buddhas, want to liberate beings from samsara. Subhuti. If the tathagata with his 5 eyes has not apprehended the beings whom he liberates from samsara, how then could the Lord, having known full enlightenment, predict beings to the 3 heaps, those destined for salvation, those destined for perdition, those whose destiny is not fixed either way? The Lord. Not have I, after knowing full enlightenment, apprehended any being as destined for salvation, destined for perdition, or as one whose destiny is not fixed either way. All I do is to restrain from seizing on what is unreal those beings who perceive actual reality as that which is not actually real, but by way of convention and not in ultimate reality. Subhuti. Has then the Lord known full enlightenment after having stood in ultimate reality? The Lord. Not so. Subhuti. Or having stood in perverted views? The Lord. Not so. Subhuti. If he has not known full enlightenment having stood in either ultimate reality or in perverted views, then surely the tathagata has not at all known the supreme enlightenment. The Lord. The tathagata has known the supreme enlightenment, but he has not stood anywhere in the conditioned or unconditioned element. Just as a tathagata's magical creation does not stand anywhere in the conditioned or unconditioned element, and yet it goes and comes, stands up and sits down, and courses in the 6 perfections in the other practices up to the 18 special dharmas of a Buddha. If in the course of his turning of the wheel of dharma that magical creation were to conjure up countless beings and predict them to the 3 heaps, what do you think, Subhuti, would that magical creation have in fact predicted any being at all? Subhuti. No indeed, O Lord. The Lord. Just so a tathagata has cognized all dharmas as like a magical creation, and in consequence he has apprehended or disciplined no being at all. It is thus that the bodhisattva should course in perfect wisdom, i.e., like a tathagata's magical creation. Subhuti. If all dharmas are like a magical creation, what is the difference between the tathagata and his magical creation? What is the purpose of his teaching? The Lord. No difference or distinction can be apprehended between the tathagata and his magical creation. For without difference are the tathagata and his magical creation. And why? Because that deed which the tathagata does, that his magical creation does. Subhuti. Is it, then, when there is magical creation does its work? The Lord. It does so, Subhuti. The tathagata that the Subhuti, or is it when there is not tathagata that the magical creation does its work?